So this past week I did a video
1 second,
on...
I'm shutting the classroom door.
Clean.
I'm back.
There we go. No, so
Welcome
this
back to the hallway.
enjoying it. This week I did a video on romance anime. I wanted to like really dissect what made good romance, because I wanted to talk about Wotakoi. Can't pronounce this incorrect.
Wataki.
If I called it that once in the video, I'd fucking
I like
die.
Wataki. We should go with that from now on.
No, I was talking about Wotakoi, and I was just like, I didn't want to like specifically just like do my usual like shit, like where I just talk about how good the characters are and so on. So I was like, let me try to explore like what makes good romance, and I ended up comparing it to 3D Girl Kanojo, because it's another anime that after I broke these two shows down, they're really similar in a lot of ways, but I consider one good and one shitty.
Oh no! Oh no!
No, I consider Wotakoi good. 3D Girl Kanojo is...
that was the oh no. That was why I was saying oh no.
You like 3D Girl Kanojo?
Yeah.
I also liked the first 2 or so episodes of 3D Girl Konojo.
I feel like the
3D
thing
Kanojo.
is
Yeah,
that...
go into your thesis
Yeah.
here and why, because
Yeah.
even though the video is already out, it is not
Total
already
truth.
out in our temporal
Yeah,
zone.
and you
here.
guys haven't gotten to watch it yet. My point is that both shows have good characters. I think even 3D Girl Kanojo has a better narrative, but when it comes to character interactions and the relationships with each other and how they react around each other, Wotakoi is like fantastic. I feel like those connections are genuine and real and fun to watch. Whereas 3D Girl Kanojo, I just don't buy them. They seem so fake and set up and just not real. And I think that's what makes a good romance anime. My point is that what makes a good romance anime is the connections and how they develop with each other. Not so much the characters, the narrative, how funny it is. That stuff all just makes it better. Without like that good like underlying relationships between the characters, it's not exactly a romance show.
My instinct would be to put forth the fact that 3D Kanojo is about a lot of pretty socially stunted people, so perhaps the perception of their relationships as being something that's a bit sort of shallow or janky or not necessarily believable is due to sort of the inherent awkwardness of those relationships that arises from the the social stuntedness of the people engaging in them.
No, I get your point. I think that's one of the things that I really like about the show, because that's actually becomes like the part of like later on in the series that's confirmed. Is there's a small arc where it just kind of shows that all the characters get mad at the main character because he's so enthralled with himself that he always assumes the mistake is with himself, despite it not always being the case. It's something else happening at home or
yeah.
so on.
I mean, I think it is fair to sort of say that 3D Kanojo is less interesting as a romance, but it is more interesting as sort of a study of these other psychological hang-ups, because I think it does a really good job of getting into these issues of depression and self-worth and social anxiety. And we don't get that super often. And a lot of the times when it comes around, it's relatively beloved in an anime series because it's pretty relatable stuff to a lot of the general community here. And I think 3D Kanojo is another one of those shows that has valuable stuff to say on the subject.
Yeah, and I think I agree with that, but I just feel like calling the show a romance anime is just probably a bad call.
No, that is fair.
I think character
I
drama
think
or
like
something like that.
genre-wise, it is definitely a romance, but like sort of framing the appeal of it as being on or about the romantic elements would be mistaken priorities in terms of the elements of the series that are there.
Yeah, that's one thing I was going to say about 3D Kanojo, because I don't like to watch it as a romance anime. I like to watch it because I enjoy watching this girl be a totally shitty person. But again, I haven't seen past the second, maybe the third episode.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. At the outset, Tsutsun is sort of a bit more innocent. Sort of, if nothing else, in that he doesn't have a lot of agency and just doesn't do a lot, and he gets beat up on. I think we sort of get a bit more even-handed as the series goes on, with his girlfriend being perhaps in the right, or at least not in the wrong in given conflicts, and sort of his own shortcomings as a person coming to the forefront and receiving criticism as well. It's pretty well-rounded in the way it goes about critiquing the various characters.
Mm-hmm. No, I do enjoy. I do enjoy the cat-eared guy. What's his name? He's hilarious.
Come on, I'll think on it. I'll pop in like 10 minutes.
I had his name written
it
down somewhere at one point, and I took it off because I didn't end up talking about him. But he goes through a pretty good character arc actually too. I have to admit, as a character drama, as a character exploration, it's good. I really enjoy the main character. I think he's very well written. I think his especially like the development he gets later on in the show, where it's like, hey, asshole, not everything's about you. Back the fuck up. I think is like one of the best reveals of the show. Is like because he's like trying to find out what's his name's mad. He's just depressed about something completely different, and so on. And the same thing with the female character. I mean, I think at first she comes off as this kind of generic flat character who's just kind of mean, but her kind of like weird quirkiness with like always being blunt ends up getting her into like a lot of trouble towards the second half of the show, which is hilarious because it's just kind of like she's getting all pissed off because she doesn't know why she's getting all this trouble. So it's like it's something she brought upon herself, and then as usual, the main character, the arc kind of comes together where it's like the main character thinks it's something he did, and it's really well done. It's I think as a character drama, it's a good show, but as a romance anime, just at the end of the day, it's just like I don't buy any of the relationships these characters have, and I'm not really invested in if they get together or who goes with who and so on. Whereas in Wotakoi, I feel like the relationships are genuine. I think overall the characters are more interesting. I like all the characters in Wotakoi a lot, especially the freaking little brother. He's hilarious. I'm so glad they added like a little Cinnabon character in there, but it's just one of those things where I think overall, if I were judging it as a romance anime, I would consider the show bad. But as a character drama, I think it could be very good.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing that's like a total bitch is trying to find out their names. You know why?
I was about to say, if only we had MyAnimeList, we could go check his name right now. Good that we were on the same segue wavelength there.
Yeah.
MyAnimeList.
MyAnimeList is down, and that's a fucking bitch.
You.
No, seriously, MyAnimeList has been gone for 4 days. I don't remember what I like anymore. I have no means of knowing where I am on any show. I think I'm like halfway through Alfheim Online by now, and I want it to come back so I can stop.
I don't even remember what I've watched. Did I actually watch Hunter x Hunter? I don't know. It's not marked on... I can't check my Mal. Am I an
I think I've watched
fans-
it twice in the past 3 days by accident.
Am I really an Annie-tuber? Have I watched any anime? I have no proof.
Are you really an anime YouTuber if you don't have 100+ friends on Mal?
Have you watched over 100 anime? That's a real question.
I actually don't think I have watched over 100 anime. I can't check because I just went to check. I can't check because Matt was down. God, this is so much bigger of a deal than I expected it to be.
There was a famous debate on the 9090 live streams, where it was contested how many anime you had to see to be able to talk about, on it authoritatively. I think the number they came up with contentiously was 500.
Why?
Just because it was like a random number they pulled out of their ass.
Yeah, I don't know. 1 worked for me.
I believe 1 is the answer, actually.
Yeah, all you have to do is watch My Hero Academia and say, like, yo, dudes, this is good, and suddenly you're an anime expert.
Oh, no.
So I'm glad I'm not the one, like, hardcore. While we're talking about My Hero Academia, I gotta talk about this new guy I found on YouTube. Was it some Vocal Pineapple? He's like some new guy who came on, and he is like totally taking the crown from me as milking the fuck out of My Hero Academia, and I love him for it.
Ooh.
He has made, what is it? It's Vocal Pineapple, I think his name is. I haven't met him. Seems like a cool dude. Jesus Christ, he's gone up 18,000 subscribers in like the past 5 months, roughly.
Wow, episodes. So he's doing like. Okay, Quirk Explained, those are always big money. Yeah, he's just, he's studied this stuff. Because there's making, like, My Hero Academia analysis videos, and then there's making, like, the archetypical My Hero Academia sort of format videos, Quirk Explained, all that stuff. Started out on DB Super.
What if this character from another series had one for all? Ugh.
I'm not gonna make fun of him, but I just love the fact that he's just like, I started watching this guy, and I like his editing style. It's very simplistic. It's very smart. It's something I had come up with because it's like fucking.
Yeah,
so
he's
easy.
making like weekly episode. So, what are like almost reaction videos, but like sort of framed as analysis, which is a smart way of doing it. Theory videos, theories and explained.
It's smart. It's clever.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of appreciation for people who are able to come up with quick ideas like this.
1, 2, 3, 5 videos in the last week, which I'm jealous of.
Jesus. That's impressive.
He already has the same number of views that I do, and he has fucking how many videos?
He's got a decent amount. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1.
Let me see. I'm just seeing.
30.
Yeah, he joined this. He made his channel this year, January 10th, 2018.
His first video was January of this year. But he's got 38 of them.
I mean, he pumps them out quick.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah.
Like, even if you're talking about literal no-effort content, just, like, talk over one constant clip with no script, putting out 5 videos in a week is still crazy.
Oh, yeah. No, that's nuts. I mean, he's got a really smart setup, though. What he's done is build a ton of small pre-comps on After Effects with all these characters on sticks.
Right.
And so he'll just talk his script, and then he just goes up 1, down 1, up 1, down 1, and he'll have like a generic moving background. And it's like, that's so fucking smart.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn. Like when I was watching one of his videos, I was like, you are one smart son of a bitch. Oh, good for him. I love shit like that. It's we're just plugging his channel. I'm not hating on him. Actually, I'm loving on the fact that he has taken the guy who milks My Hero Academia title away from me. So I can milk it more.
The thing is, he's not like quite in the analysis sphere, so you might still have the title or like have it, to a degree. Because I mean, there's tons of Hero Academia like reaction and theory and lore explained channels, but you sort of get your illustrious reputation for putting out so many more like conventional analysis videos on it.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of which, expect an analysis video this week, guys. Well, not this week on us. Probably the next week. I took a 2-week break. All right, that's right. That's correct, huh? Gotta milk that shit. No, actually, I have a really good idea for this week's. It'll be good. It'll be Gucci. I'm talking like in the future. Hopefully, it comes out good. I don't fucking know. Sometimes I write the shittiest scripts.
Man, that's a time traveler confirmed.
Yesterday, finally.
Say what? Sorry?
I just finished a script yesterday, finally.
Oh, congratulations. Is everyone going to finally be, like, making videos again? I'm proud of them.
Yeah, I'm working on one.
Because Alex just put out a new video on Naruto, which we'll talk about in a bit.
It took like a month and a half, but I put out a video.
Nice.
Speedy.
Legitimately.
God bless.
I get
Pedro.
into analysis of Japanese labor market economics, so it's a fun time.
Oh my god.
Good luck.
Moving in on that kind of effect sphere, I see. I'm glad I never like dug myself into that corner, having to do actual like research into the market in Japan. I would cry.
I thought you were just going to stop at having to do actual research.
I've got some citations. I cite my shit. Don't worry.
Joe would be proud.
So what we haven't gotten to,
we were talking about Mal being down though, and sort of didn't touch on it in a discussionary sense, just sort of joked about it for a bit. Yeah, I mean, Mal, I think sort of from the community reaction to it, the experience, I guess, of missing it dearly is a widely shared one. But particularly for us ascended class, us YouTubers here, it was something that's like often referenced. You can get, like, if you just need an image of a series, you can get like a good promo poster image, whatever, on the Mal page for a given series. You can check staff quickly and pretty easily. Their UI is great for that. Voice actors, character names, if you just need to figure out the name for your script, are there. So it's just like a really handy little informational resource. If you want to do like the anime started airing, blah blah blah, you can just screenshot the that little section of the series bio on Mal. If you want seasonal anime, just like a generic sort of representation of it, go get a scrolling shot of the seasonal anime chart over on Mal. All of that gone with Mal down, and everyone's having to learn what to do in that absence.
Yeah, I mean, you covered all the things that have been absolutely torturing me lately. That and just checking my seasonal shows, because you know, like when I catch up with all my seasonal shows each week, I try to pick up an extra show. So I'll be like, all right, let's see what shows on Mal, and I'll go to Mal and realize, oh yeah, it's down right now, so I'm screwed. I mean, I know there's other websites where I can check the seasonal shows, but there's, you know, I've been on Mal for so long. I know exactly like where to go check and everything. It's just like, oh, fucking bitch. That and what was it? Oh yeah, checking character names. I had to watch an anime and have all the characters introduce themselves earlier today to make sure I had all their names right. That's assuming the subtitle spelled them right, which is never exactly the truth.
Well, there's no real right spelling when it comes to transliteration.
I guess so.
Like, I don't know. If it sounds like the thing, then it's right.
No, don't inject postmodern neo-Marxism into my linguistics, Brian. This is a wholesome, centrist podcast.
It's spelled with kana, Pedro. It's not spelled with Latin letters. You want to spell it right, nobody's going to be able to read it.
I'm going to go with the side that gives me more leeway.
Are we getting into My Hero Academia title discourse now?
I don't understand the reference. Enlighten me.
Just people arguing over what you should call My Hero Academia.
Oh, I thought you meant like the titles of individual episodes. Why is this such a big thing for Hero Aka?
Why is
like
it
you don't get that
with
other shows?
I think it's used pretty widely in Japan. So just like early on, you know, like people who were like on the ground floor for Hero Aka, and you know, like we're getting it from Japan and translating it and all that stuff, would have picked up on that, and sort of that manner of reference just sort of proliferated throughout the community a bit.
I meant
and
like
also,
why is the whole title dispute a thing for Hero Aka when it isn't really for other anime?
I don't know. I saw a Miles tweet about it. Let's see if I can Google it. Miles Hero Academia title. Twitter. Yeah, I don't know. I just know, like, it's been an argument people have been having where like, both on the English title side and Japanese title side, people have been saying, like, you must call it this, or you're bullshit.
Because, see, I thought Hiroaka was a compromise. Because it takes out the English and Japanese parts of the title.
Wait, My Hero Academia is a compromise, or Hiroaka is a compromise?
Hiroaka is a compromise.
Right.
Because it's not Boku no Hiroaka, and it's not My Hiroaka, so it's just, this is the part that we both say.
Yeah, I've seen people, like, fairly widely get upset about Hiroaka being used, like, in various comment sections, mine included.
I mean, I made a joke about it.
Yeah, it's just, like, the shortest, most convenient way to refer to it.
Yeah. My favorite, though, is that, like, both of my roommates and both of our friends who we've gotten to start watching it always say My Hiroaka. So I just, like, sit there, like, this is beautiful. Just completely disregard the points.
See, I think we just need to all agree.
Boku no My Hiroaka Demia.
Demia?
I think that's right. Someone else was mad about this. Is a joke. People not pronouncing academia right. I mean, I'm pronouncing it like how Japanese would pronounce academia. Academia.
I love how petty the anime community is at times. It's kind of impressive.
I don't know. It's one of those, like... It's one of those things that separates humans from animals. You never see a condor getting upset about how another condor screeches.
MHA is another good one. I like MHA.
Yeah. Well, no, it's BNHA, Pedro.
BNHA is, like, clunky to say in terms of spoken. I do think that it's solid for text, yeah. But if you're speaking, BNHA is a bit odd. I like MHA for that purpose. But yeah, I mean, I do, like, never end up saying Boku no Hero Academia, just because
Which makes sense, because you're not
long
Japanese.
And it's also just, like, the longest possible version of the title you could state, so why would you do that?
Right.
Oh, that's right, I remember, like, people who use Boku no Hero Academia are pirates, because it's, like, the illegal, like, you know, the English official version of the manga uses My Hero Academia.
Man.
But, like, in scanslations, you'll see Boku no Hero Academia, so if you use Boku no Hero Academia, you must be a pirate.
That's some, like, tan suit Dijon mustard bullshit.
It's exciting, it's fun.
Yeah, that is some Fox News stuff right there.
How to spot a pirate in just one interaction.
Is anyone still watching Caligula?
Implying that I was ever watching it in the first place.
I have to check my mail. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
No, wait, dropped. After 4 episodes, yeah.
Okay, I've only seen the first episode, and I was wondering if it was, like, worth continuing.
It is worth continuing, I believe, up until episode 3, because episode 3 does a bunch of, not a bunch of, but some really cool and fun stuff. But after that, it sort of just settles into, what seems like it's going to be a formula that is not too compelling.
Alright.
But also, like, 3 would probably be enhanced by a group watch environment as well, which is what I watched it in. Because of the, wait, what? Little, like, twisty stuff is more fun that way. It's not at all, like, a priority. It's not so cool that it really, warrants going out of your way for it. But I was happy that I got up to that episode before.
Yeah, it's one of those where I watched the first episode, and I thought it was really cool, and I wanted to see more, and then I figured I would just never watch it again.
Yeah, no, I mean, it goes a decent bit sort of downhill from episode 1. Episode 1 is more sort of stylized and cool than the series generally gets back
What I
to.
did really like about it, and what I think this kind of show does wrong very, very often, is that the pretentious smart guy protagonist actually seems enthusiastic about being a smart guy.
Yeah.
Like, he legitimately liked all the things he was learning about and wasn't just doing it to be stoic and cool.
Yeah, no, I thought he that whole aspect of his relatively stereotypical character archetype was pretty well handled.
Mm-hmm.
Great first episode. But it is sort of an adaptation of a kind of weird, generic, middle-of-the-road JRPG title, and that starts to show its colors.
Okay.
It's by some of the writers who did the earlier Mega 10 and Persona games, I believe. The game it's based off of.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's all for Caligula talk. What else we got? We could hit up that GGO discourse.
I mean, it's like Matt said. Matt and Alex haven't seen the GGO. Pedro, it's just going to be us arguing for the next hour, and while I'm totally down for that, do our listeners really just want to hear us fight each other?
Probably.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, so GGO sucks still.
Okay, GGO is a very fun show. The one big sort of thing that it needs to address at this point is sort of the nature of the psyche of this crazy girl. Because it is like very out there, obviously, and goofy and wonky, and it sort of needs to nail down exactly what's going on there. But
I feel like the main problem with SAOA GGO is that it had this legacy that it needed to step away from. Because the whole thing about Sword Art Online is that you have to have different variations on the death game. And that's part of like what makes everything after the original Sword Art Online first half of the first season kind of suck a lot.
Ooh.
Is these shoehorned death game plots.
Okay, so you think the sort of the threatened murder-suicide here that we've gotten into in the recent arc is that specter of the death game hanging over SA alternative here and making it self-required?
A little bit, yeah. Yes. I just think it's totally unnecessary when you had this really good, well, really not bad esports story going on. Especially when you have a main character who is legit interesting.
Mm-hmm.
With her motivations for joining the game, and now, of course, she's turning into, like, the savior of humanity again. Not quite as bad as Kirito, of course, but I don't know. I just think that this show would have really benefited from being much smaller scale than it is now.
I think went into this with somewhat differing perspective or expectations than what a lot of people would have done. So I have not watched SAO. I know all about it, obviously, because I've engaged in the coverage of it. But I don't have a lot of sort of the SAO baggage, I think. And instead, the preconceptions I was more fueled by were knowing the backstory of this property's creation, which is the light novel author Keiichi Sugsawa, who did Kino's Journey. He's like a giant gun otaku.
Yeah.
And so they brought him in to consult on the guns for GGO. And then he like just basically begged Reki Kawahara and then the publisher to let him write his own SAO spin-off, and eventually they relented. And this is also being handled by Studio 3 Hertz, which just does like fun, cool series, mostly featuring girls that are often gay. Fun action series, generally featuring girls that are often gay. And so that's sort of just like a dude who wanted to do fun, goofy shit and is a competent writer, handled by a studio that's on board for that. And I have been totally sated in that regard. And as long as, like, the explanation for why this girl is. Oh wait, we got the explanation. We got a bit of the explanation. I don't mind her just being like a quirky, like
she missed the death game
weirdo. Yeah,
and she wanted she wanted to fill her death game quota in her life.
Actually, considering like you're saying, like SAO sort of needs to contend with the death game element that's so core to its personality, and her character is that like she saw the death game in the original SAO and misses that. That's pretty cool, actually. I like
the idea
100% now because it's dumb metatextual bullshit that's really fun and cool. And like I could believe this was actually thought out by Sixawa and like meditated upon. And also I also went into this knowing that it gets gay. So that's all I need.
Look, I
Alex, think... how's your day, Alex?
It's very non-SAO related.
Good. Me too. Look, I think that Saug Go is good enough. It's doing everything it has to do. Like you said, it's a fun romp. I look at this story about a woman who's unhappy with her appearance in her life, who like joins online gaming as a means of escaping everything she doesn't like about herself. And I like that story, and I see that this could be such a very good, very personal, very small scale story about like her using esports as a means of self-improvement, while still maintaining all of this awesome action stuff that SAO has to have.
I mean I think it's very fair.
And like now we've got a death game that just didn't have to be there.
Look at the series and wish for higher aspirations of it.
Yeah. Plus, like, I don't know, I just think it's kind of boring. But that's me. I'm not a big fan of, like, action stuff. So.
What about Hero Aka, Brian? When's the next Hero Aka video, Brian? Are you going to make a video
about
how you don't like action in Hero Aka, Brian? How about that video?
Yeah, the action parts are my least favorite parts of Hero Aka.
Yeah.
But no, I have another Hero Aka video coming. Random commenter. I've got one planned.
Will it come out like in winter?
5 months, gotcha.
Yeah, it'll come out by the time Season 5 is airing. Don't you worry, it'll be on time.
So speaking of action shows, we talked about this a little bit earlier. Alex, your Naruto video, we haven't gotten to watch it because you uploaded it maybe 30 minutes before we started recording.
You bastard.
The video was a solid 60 minutes.
It was up a little more than 30 minutes.
It was 2 hours ago.
We started,
was it 2 hours ago?
It's fair.
Like that.
Well, I woke up 30 minutes before we started recording. So
That's fair. That's
nothing
fair.
really exists before then, in my opinion. You should pitch
if
it.
a YouTube video is uploaded and no one is there to see it in their sub box, does it even really exist? It does not. We know this all too well. It's very painful.
It's factual.
But no, the cool thing about this video I just posted was that I did like it wasn't really a collaboration, but my buddy Kraftsdorf did a similar video, like 2 different subject matters, but they were both Naruto related, and they were about the 2 like main characters of the story. So we had like matching thumbnails, so like they play off each other.
It was
if you had
very
us in your
cute.
sub
It was
box.
good.
So that was fun. Although he was basically waiting on me because he finished his video. Like he had the script done for his, and then I decided, oh well, let's talk about Talk No Jutsu. Let's talk about that meme. And then it took me like a month and a half to make the video. So that wasn't so good, but yeah. That has been like my entire month is Naruto, and while Mal has been down, I've been working on the video, so it's only just now hitting me that Mal is dead.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think it's dead. Hopefully they get it up soon.
Might as well.
It's been 4 days. In internet time, that's death.
Yeah.
Does anyone know exactly what happened to it?
Well, the current maintenance period is a result of discovering a point in their security system that merited looking further into for any potential issues.
Yeah.
But thus far, they haven't found anything significant, so it's in the best interest of their users to have an overabundance of caution. So the maintenance period's going to continue until they've concluded the review.
I didn't ask for you to directly read the link.
Now, having said that, they hope to have the matter resolved quickly, and they'll keep you apprised of when the site is back online via their official site, which is down, and their social media accounts. Thankfully, they regret any inconvenience caused, as long as we're patient and understanding. And if that didn't explain it well enough, you can contact them via their customer service team, rather than the mal-moderation team. Sincerely, explanation point.
Well done, well done.
Yeah, the sort of initial rumblings of this was the scare, concern, what have you, over leaked login info. They weren't like quite sure if stuff had been stolen there, so you know, you probably got the emails. They asked you to update your password just in case it had been stolen. Then they disabled their API, and it sort of mouse compatibility with outside apps just to make sure those weren't like the point of vulnerability, and they've just, you know, shut the whole site down here to do a full review of everything.
That's fair enough.
Also, go pledge to my GoFundMe so I can buy another Astolfo cosplay, because this is $90 that I don't have, but I want it.
What?
I thought you were going to say go pledge to my GoFundMe so I can buy another Mal.
No.
Buy us on the website.
Look at it. It's so good. It's so good. I need it.
Let me see. Oh wow, that is really good. Actually,
Yes.
it's only $90.
Yeah, no. I mean, I searched to find the best price to value fucking one of these.
Artist, draw Pedro with an Astolfo cosplay.
There you
Do
go.
it, artist.
And the thigh has garters. It has garters. It's so good.
Are you gonna try wearing that to Anime Expo?
If I end up buying it, I definitely will, because I already have the wig for the casual Astolfo outfit that I have.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd, you know, get like 2 for 1 with that wig, with this added to my collection here.
There you go. I've got my cosplay done for Anime Expo. I'm so proud of it. It's so.
Are you cosplaying Manime Matt?
No, I'm not cosplaying Manime.
Okay.
I'm doing a pretty interesting but generic character trope that I'm gonna run around and fucking scream at people. It's gonna be great.
So this guy.
It'll be fun.
Godane.
I just want to let you guys know when you guys do see me at Anime Expo, I did come up with this idea while drunk.
So, on the subject of Mahou Shoujo site, we finally got the trans magical girl introduced.
We did.
In the last few episodes, and she's cool. Big fan.
I haven't kept up with any of the magical
Nothing much
shoujo
else
girls.
to say. I just think it's cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, imagine Magical Girl's site being the premiere show this season for trans representation.
Hey, we have Hiroaka too.
That is true. They have 2 trans characters, right? It's
Yeah, Magda or something, and then the dude on the Pussycat Squad or whatever is a trans guy.
Yep. I kind of wanted to cosplay him really bad, but I'm not buff enough. One of these days. Need to hit the gym more.
Yeah, no, same. I'm like too thin not to have abs, frankly. Like, it would be so relatively easy. I kind of feel terrible for not just going all the way.
Going for the 6-pack. I had a friend like that in college. He was like a hardcore gamer, drank nothing but what was it, like fucking like what's the stereotypical drink?
Mountain
gamer
Dew?
drink? Mountain Dew. Like stayed in all day eating Cheetos, and he had a fucking 6-pack, and it drove me up the wall. I was like, how fucking dare you?
Should cosplay Umaru-chan with a 6-pack.
Which one is that one? Oh, the fucking
The trash troll gamer girl little sister.
God, I fucking hate that.
The one who's at location 100 on the suffering given versus suffering deserved chart.
Yeah.
Deserved versus given, I should say.
Yeah.
I watched that show when it first aired, and I was like, why is this show fucking popular?
It's funny though, like one of the last like Magical Girl Suffering series, which was Magical Girl Raising Project, also had a trans girl, Magical Girl. And sort of what I've noticed in a lot of these, like, I call them sort of like divergence and tragedy interest series. There's just like a lot of manga especially, and then some of them get adapted into anime that are just sort of like about sort of the darkness or perversion of humanity in some manner, and a lot of those feature gender nonconforming queer characters, just because like it's sort of in the same wheelhouse in terms of appeal. It's seeing like this sort of these different niche aspects of humanity, and it's somewhat unfortunate because you see sort of a lot of the genderqueer just instances in manga in these series that are more just about suffering generally and delighting in that, but it's not like outright bad. It's more of an interesting phenomena.
I wonder if that's a carryover from the generic kind of like Yuri tragedy, where it's always like, the two girls fall in love and they're like all together and stuff like that, but then like their fathers tear them apart or something, like that generic kind of tragedy system. So I'm wondering if that's kind of a carryover.
I think it comes from a different lineage, because what sort of became of what was called Class S, which was a sort of genre in Japan of like a high school loving girls romance that almost always sort of ended in their parting from each other, like upon graduation, and that like lesbian relationship was sort of an inherently fleeting thing. Class S has pretty cleanly evolved just into modern girls' love series, where you sort of aren't forced to have that more tragic ending to the relationship. I'd say that's more in I forget the fancy Japanese word, but there's a term for more like extreme in content manga series that began during the 70s. It was sort of this counter movement, and it was like much more dark and explicit manga about sort of the more dark side to humanity itself, and I could easily see there being a lineage up through that into modern day series in that vein.
I know what you're talking about. Actually, I know. This sounds so unprofessional of me. I went to a panel about this subject. I'm just trying to fucking know what it was.
Redisu?
Oh, that might be it. Let's see if I can find it on the... We're doing research live on air, folks. I'm sure this is thrilling.
This is what scholars do. On the history of manga page on Wikipedia, which is what scholars check.
Right.
Says, Redisu manga and art has been often, but not always, sexually explicit. Sexual... sex.
No, it's gekiga. Okay. Gekiga.
Oh, that sounds familiar.
It's a Japanese term for dramatic pictures. Manga means whimsical pictures, so they wanted to sort of get that distinction. Okay, and it actually started in the mid-50s, the movement, and then it gained steam in early 70s. And yeah, I read a collection from one of the more famous and foundational Gekiga artists, and it was really fascinating. Definitely look into that, loyal listeners, if it interests you. But yeah, I would see that as being the lineage there. Cool stuff.
Speaking of manga, did you guys see my "fuck you, I don't read mangas" video?
I did. I did
yes.
not. I caught it relatively early, so I did not see too much of the reception. Let's get a check on that.
Not bad overall. I mean, I expected it to be way worse than what I actually received.
I feel like if it had gotten more views, it would have elicited more ire. But you mostly just got your core audience here, and as such, relatively reasonable responses.
Yeah, I mean, I got a few people who instantly unsubbed from me the second that video came out. As always, I was expecting that. I was just testing the waters for my for a theory.
I've followed you for a while, but this is the last straw. Manga is good, you illiterate bucko. That's good. That's a good comment. I'm gonna heart that comment. I'm gonna go log into my Pedantic Romantic and give that I've hacked into the system and give that a heart.
There you go. No, he's actually, ironically enough, he really is. He wasn't even kidding. He's like one of the first 100 subs I had.
Yeah.
I was just like, sorry, bruh. But nah, I mean, it was an interesting idea. I mean, it was an extreme idea I wanted to try out. Because I did like the controversial opinion series previously, and I did like a very like controlled and like normal argument. And try to like be as like open-minded as possible.
Yeah, you tried to go like more confrontational with this.
Yeah, I was like, let's go like aggressive and see what happens. And ironically enough,
be aggressive.
Both of them turned out identical. Like, it's fucking scary. Like the like to dislike ratio, the amount of like hate comments I got from them, and then like amount of views I got from both of them. So it's just kind of one of those things where it's like, all right, so it legitimately doesn't fucking matter how I come about like through the argument. People don't really care if I'm like super aggressive with it or not. People are gonna dislike your video no matter how mean you are with your comments, guys. So fun fact. now you know. I don't know. It was interesting. Like I said, I was trying out this new series. I think that's gonna be the gravestone for this Manime's controversial opinion series. It was a good run, but I can't justify it because I don't feel like many people are watching it. Because for me, they're more so watching it for whatever show I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things where it's like it's never gonna really pick up much steam.
Yeah, the like sort of branding a given video as being interesting because it is your opinion doesn't mesh well with like what your audience is there for largely.
Mm-hmm. That was just something I wanted to bring up.
Yeah.
And then Alex, you made fantastic points in your comment. That's why I hearted it. You were like, you should watch some manga, read some manga. I'm like, I do, but I don't want to say that in the video because it defeats my argument. It doesn't have as much bite to my argument if I just go like, I read some manga.
Betrayal.
See if they listen to the podcast, they would know this.
Betrayed for the views.
Trade. No, I only read like a few shows. Like I did Inuyasha back when I was younger.
Inuyasha.
Whatever it's fucking pronounced.
Inuyasha.
It's Inuyashiki.
Actually, I'm calling it Inuyashiki for the rest of the show.
Is it titled Inuyasha because like he turns into a dog boy? Inu means dog. Is that like the thing?
Yeah, I think he is technically a dog.
I haven't watched the show, but like he seems wolfy.
It's been like 10-15 years, I think, since I've fucking seen an episode of that shit. It's bad. It does not age well, that show. If you're ever bored,
okay,
you
yeah,
watch...
Dog Demon. Hell yeah. Japanese courses coming through.
I would look it up on Mal. Oh, wait. I can't.
If you're bored and you're like having fun with your friends and you're drinking, watch Inuyasha dubbed. It is the best. Because they don't know what the fuck they're doing. So like, like the older accent of like, people from like the hills and stuff like that. You know how they translate that into English? They're all country hicks.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It is the fucking dumbest shit ever. It's nothing like a shrine priestess saying y'all. Like,
I mean, going southern drawl for a Kansai dialect is still common practice, I think, in the industry.
Mm-hmm. Oh, sweet.
Sort of the best recreation of it, because it is their, like, country bumpkin dialect. And you generally sort of capture the basic feel of it to a Japanese viewer through going that route in the English. But it is weird. It is weird. Like, I mean, sub-only people already say, like, it's just sort of weird to see anime characters speaking English in the context of a dub. There's like an extra layer of like abstraction from the Japanese roots and like very culturally Americanness when you get the drawl in there.
I don't know. I think this kind of stuff is really interesting.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'd imagine that this would very much be in your wheelhouse.
Yeah, just choosing how to portray different aspects of culture in a dub in general is one of the more creative parts of translation work.
Yeah.
So, like, especially when that comes to things that aren't verbal communication, like accents. I guess I should say word-based communication.
Yeah.
Because there's so much about a person's personality that's displayed in the way they talk, not just the words they use. So I don't know. I've never really considered this, but just changes in voice acting can change so much about a character.
For sure.
My favorite example of this is actually, have you guys seen My Teen Romantic Comedy?
No.
Oh, it's a good show.
Snafu.
You should watch it. Snafu, I know. It's the ultimate, what's the character called again?
Hachiman is the main character?
Hachiman, yeah, Hachiman is the ultimate, I'm trying to think of the word. Completely obsessed with himself character.
Narcissist?
He is like, yeah, there he is. Like super narcissistic, like asshole, stuck up piece of shit.
Is he more so than the MC of Charlotte? Is it Charlotte?
At the start? He is literally Charlotte, but also like way darker. Like he's fucking hilarious. He's like all of his comedy, like 3/4 of the show is like how good his voice acting is, because he's just like, yeah, in Japanese, it's like this like downtrodden, everybody's weaker than me, fucking losers, get out my fucking way kind of thing. If you guys never seen Snafu, just watch the first episode. His opening monologue is something I consider to be one of my favorites in all of anime. It's like, why youth is trash.
No, like, all this talk of voice acting just reminds me that I watched the first episode of Steins Gate Zero a few days ago. That was the first time I'd heard the subbed voices for the Steins Gate characters.
Oh, you watched it.
I hate them.
Actually, that's fine.
I mean, it's famous as like a fantastically voice acted series in the sub and dub, but both are fantastic in part probably because they're so relatively distinctive and like eccentric in their own ways, and as such being used to one and then going to the other is probably a rough transition.
Like specifically Daru in the sub is just so You're
saying this and I have no idea what he sounds like in the English, so I'm just like, yeah.
He sounds like a human.
Generic deep guy. Like, hey there, it's me, Daru. I'm doing hacker stuff.
He's a bit more distinct than that.
That's why I'm not a voice actor.
But he's not quite as distinct as Daru in the Japanese version.
Yeah.
Like, Daru in the Japanese version is like, I don't know.
An anime character?
He's like a tin whistle that's been given human form. A really fat tin whistle. Oh well. Couldn't stand it. But it also just doesn't seem like Steins Gate Zero is going to be very good, unfortunately.
Don't say that to me.
That's interesting, because the general sort of view of Steins Gate Zero that I've seen is that's pretty good, both among like the general community and then just like the more discerning social circle that I surround myself with.
Well, apparently I just hate everything.
Did you like the first season?
Yeah, the first season's my favorite anime of all time.
Okay. I mean, I guess that makes sense. Like, you have such a sort of strong feelings on the series that, like, you coming down on it sort of makes sense.
But, like, again, I've seen the first episode. I'm not going to judge it yet.
Right.
Not that that's ever stopped me before.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm gonna see what they do with it.
Yeah, I'm intentionally waiting the show out because I'm a huge fan of the original Steins Gate also. But I had the honor of being able to watch the show with no hype around it, and I got to like sit there and properly enjoy the show and like kind of comprehend it without having to deal with all the weird theories and so on.
Oh,
So that was fantastic. So
you're
that's what
avoiding
my
it
plan
for-
with.
Sorry, I keep cutting
ahead.
you off. Oh, well, I was saying, so you're avoiding it for a different reason than me, where, like, I remember the original Steins Gate, and I'm like, I'm not going to watch this weekly and get caught on these twists. I will die if I have to watch it weekly.
Yeah, no. Well, yeah. I mean, that's like fucking watching, what was it, Attack on Titan, the original one weekly, was the worst decision ever made. But no, I'm just watching it. I'm waiting it out because I want to like sit there and then binge the show in 3 days. Like the show should be watched, I feel. Because being like, I like that every once in a while. Like, it's been a while since I actually got to binge a show, but the last show I got to binge was, what was it? I can't remember the name. I can't remember what it was. But I remember just being able to like really get invested in the world and then just throw myself into the show with no fears, knowing that it's going to end right, like more or less.
Oh yeah.
And that's such a fantastic feeling where not every week is like a gamble, where it's like, ooh, is this week's episode going to suck balls and completely ruin my opinion of this show? Let's find out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I get to sit there, throw myself in, and then just kind of let myself enjoy the show, take it all in, and not have to worry about anything else.
And, like, the worst is when that happens totally out of nowhere. Because, like, I remember watching Children of the Whales a few seasons ago. For anybody who remembers that.
Yeah.
That was unfortunate. Because the first episode is just, like, so very, very good. And then the next two episodes, like, the second episode is like, and the third episode is like,
I feel like that's just me with Magical Girl Ore this season.
Yep.
Started off so good. I was so
It's
into
still
it.
good. It's still good.
No,
And then, no, it
Pedro,
isn't.
it's not.
It fell off.
The fucking group attack at the end of last episode.
I
awesome.
haven't seen 7 or 8, but no.
It's lost my attention. I can't get into it anymore, and that's because
comedy is its sense of comedy is on point and has continued to be so. But I guess comedy is subjective. I say that not because I don't think comedy is subjective, but because I think the statement comedy is subjective is often used in an idiotic manner to imply that it is somehow subjective where other things are not subjective. See my video on the subject.
Like, it's subjective to the point where it can't be criticized as being bad. Like,
yeah, of course. Have you watched Hunter x Hunter? I'm just kidding. No, don't kill Alex. God.
Although now I just want to see Brian do like a seasonal anime recap where he just reacts with sounds. It's like, what'd you think about this
I'd be
anime?
down to do that if I had, like, a second channel that people watched where I just did commentary on things.
Yeah.
Like,
Digibro After Dark.
yeah, explanation point after dark.
There you go. That's it. That's the new one.
Yep, we did. No, it's called X Point Commentaries with the word comma
Haha.
instead
Oh my
of
God.
commentary.
Yeah.
And I haven't posted anything there yet, so nobody knows it exists.
Am I sub to it?
Now we know. Yeah. I'm
No,
gonna be the
you
first
aren't
sub.
sub to it. Nobody's sub to it.
1 second. This is it. X Point Commentaries. We gotta rush to it, guys.
Yep. Who's gonna be first? We're doing this live.
Fuck. I can't find it.
Yeah, I can't find it either.
It's your channel, Brian.
I mean, I can find it by going to add account on my login screen and clicking use another account to commentariesmail@gmail.com.
How did you misspell it?
Huh?
How did you misspell it?
COMMANTERIES. Then clicking done here.
Is it X point like one word?
Yep. Here, let me go ahead and put a link
No.
in our Discord
No, that
chat.
defeats the
I
point.
need
That
to
defeats
find
the
it
point.
myself. No.
No? You gotta find it?
Hold on, I'm getting through all the results. If I don't find it here, I just am not gonna be able to find it.
This channel doesn't
here's how it's
actually
spelled.
exist, right?
It does actually exist. I can give you.
I put Xpoint spelled correctly in the search bar and set search to channel, but it didn't find it. Presumably because like you have no subs or content, like it just.
Yeah, I mean, why would it show you?
Even when it's showing me like a bunch of other like 1 subscriber channels.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is a 0 subscriber channel. It's premium content.
High quality. Yeah, I can't find
high quality non-content. Non-tent.
Here I thought this was just Bryant memeing again about something that didn't actually exist, but no, it's real.
Oh, wow, we even get to see the actual. It's a fucking giant comma, of course.
Yeah, of course. Why would it be anything other than a giant red comma?
Your thematic sense is fantastic.
Thank you.
This is why he's
that was actually Holden who came up with the name.
Ooh, good. Good on him.
Yeah, I had exclamation point and questing mark in side notes.
Google's best guess for that image, by the way, of the channel that you posted is message to the black man.
What? I don't know anything about that.
I tried doing a Google
laughs
image
nervously
search on it to see if it like pulled up your channel page. Yeah, like searching by channel on YouTube with the exact channel name. Lots of scrolling down here. No luck thus far. Mm-hmm. We'll see if I end up getting it. I'll keep scrolling throughout the duration of the podcast here, and we'll see if I ever hit upon it.
Okay.
Ooh, Steve the Pop-Tart. That's cool. His channel avatar is a Pop-Tart.
Good for him.
Good theming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Speaking
that branding
of
is
ending the podcast.
on point.
Running low on time. Oh, John, I'm sorry, I messed up your pun. That was a fantastic pun.
You're welcome.
Anytime.
Mm-hmm. It wasn't a pun. I didn't mean to make it a pun. Is it a pun if you don't mean to make it a pun? Do puns have to be intentional?
No, puns can be unintentional, I would think.
Dude, I gotta have a way to shove puns in my video, but I go like overkill, so I make them super hard to touch.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was talking about, what was it? No one's caught this one yet, so this is the reveal. I put a pun in every video. Fun fact, if you can find them, is pun fact. Yeah. What was it? The no one found this one because it was too hard. Was I was talking about Futoshi, and I was like, and all the characters have weight. I was just like, and I was just talking about Futoshi's problem with like being overweight, and I was like, oh yeah, but none of the characters. This conversation has a lot of weight to it. No one got it. I was really sad. I spent a lot of time on that one.
Like I remember like a line you said when like Futoshi was there, sticking out to me. Like this is a big relatable YouTuber feel. Like putting something cool or witty or funny or whatever in a video, and like people probably caught this. Like some people caught this, but like no one commented to confirm that they did so, and so now I'm insecure and feel bad because I just want the validation of someone having appreciated my genius.
There we go. Yes, exactly. Thank you.
Yeah, I know that feels so hard.
And yeah, no, I got to the bottom of the page of results here, and no luck. I guess like maybe a channel has to have a subscriber at least to show up in searches for it.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean,
or at least a video.
I mean, he can just send us the direct link to his channel.
I can, but then like we wouldn't be doing it live on air to see who the first subscriber is.
All right, guys. Well, class is about to start.
Indeed.
To wrap things
we
up.
have run right up against the restraints in that regard.
Yes. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. This has been Manime Matt.
Explanation point.
The Pedantic Romantic.
Math whiz.
We caught the
whiz.
I heard
See you guys.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us in the hallway once again.
It's been an honor, as always.